This is what my calendar used to look like. Every minute was accounted for, there was absolutely no white space, and I was, unsurprisingly, exhausted. I was constantly grinding, trying to optimize my schedule to achieve more and more and more, and that made me miserable. This is what my calendar looks like right now. It's a lot emptier, and I am a lot happier. The truth is, a lot of the productivity systems weren't designed for women, and when we try to force ourselves into them, we burn out. In this video, I'm going to share 3 key shifts that I have made that have helped me go from feeling constantly overwhelmed and burnt out to feeling more at peace and not feeling bad for not working every second of the day because I'm still getting things done. And guys, that is not to say that discipline isn't important. It is. I still have big goals, I just don't torture myself on the path to achieving those goals. I think to achieve a goal, you need both discipline and enjoyment along the way. And if you've ever felt like you were failing at productivity, I made something just for you. A free Peaceful Productivity Toolkit that helps you plan your week based on your cycle. Focus on what matters most and stop chasing endless to-do lists. It's completely free, so all you need to do to get the guide is click the link in the description and I'll send it to your inbox. Okay, let's start and talk about the first shift. I stopped following unhealthy productivity creators and I started following healthy productivity creators. And what I mean by those words, healthy and unhealthy, I can only define that honestly. I just wanted to start watching people who promoted a softer way of living. Because for a while, I really fell into this trap of do-it-all productivity advice. I have big goals, I want to achieve all of them, and we all do. So that's why we might have this feeling that we just have to do it all the time. Right now, for example, I'm working on growing this YouTube channel, and I often feel like I should be doing more. I should be posting more videos. My videos should be better. My scripting should be better. My thumbnails should be better. I could always be doing more. So if you guys are enjoying my videos, please share them with your friend, with your mom, with your sister, anyone who you think will benefit from them. I will appreciate it so much. And honestly, as adults, there's so much pressure to succeed. We have so many societal expectations that weigh on us, and a lot of people really want to escape the system, get out of the 9 to 5, or never even get into it. And the solution that's often presented to us is this hustling, grinding, time blocking, your every single second, your every single minute, waking up at 5 a.m. approach. And what I realized in the process is once I started optimizing my whole life for productivity, everything else kind of started suffering. My relationships, my health, my joy, and even my creativity. If we think of all of the areas of our life as this wheel of life, with a lot of different categories like romance, personal growth, career, friends and family, wheel of life. Okay, so basically what I was so focused on is my personal growth. My personal growth, my career, and probably my finances. And obviously everything else was kind of suffering. So if I choose a different pen and I just show you guys, probably I was somewhere here in my personal growth, I was somewhere here in my career, I was somewhere here in my finances, but everything else, friends and family, my health, romance, and fun, those areas suffered so much. And when we talk about the wheel of life, I never ever want you guys to strive for perfection and have all of the areas like filled up to 10 because I don't think it's realistic. The purpose of the wheel of life is to find your own balance. And if right now you're really focused on your personal growth, on your career, on your finances, that is amazing. If you feel like this era of your life is making you feel really fulfilled and happy, that is absolutely great. I think you have found your balance, at least for now. But personally, at some point, I just realized that this constant focus on productivity, on career and finances made me lose fun and recreation. I think this area, fun, suffered a lot. Romance and friends and family, like everything that is connected to relationships with other people, and also everything that was connected to me, like who I was and what I love to do for fun. And I honestly only realized this when I started watching creators who promote a more soft life, slow living, slow productivity approach. Honestly, what I did is I just typed in all of those key phrases into YouTube and I started watching a lot of those videos, and that is how I found creators that I especially liked, and I started watching all of their videos and learning more and more about this new approach to productivity. There are so many people who don't focus on output all the time, yet they are incredibly successful. I was only focusing on the output. My value was how much I worked, how many tasks I accomplished a day. Basically, output was how I defined success. So that is why right now I'm realizing that I don't need to follow this rigid, over-optimized routine to be successful and to live in a way that feels enjoyable. When I'm so focused on the output, on my goals, I'm not really living in the present. I'm living in the future because all I'm thinking about is my goals, what I want to accomplish, what I want to achieve. Don't get me wrong, setting goals is amazing. I still set goals, but I switch my focus to how I'm feeling right now in the moment instead of constantly chasing after something elusive. So next time you think you're lazy because you didn't wake up super early, you didn't finish every single task on your to-do list, maybe consider it's not you. Maybe it's the system you chose for yourself. The system you chose is just not working for you. And you know, when it comes to productivity, when it comes to getting things done, what actually matters is learning how to think smarter and not harder. And that is where today's sponsor, Brilliant, comes in. Brilliant is a unique learning platform where you learn by doing. With thousands of interactive lessons in math, data analysis, programming, and even AI, Brilliant makes complex concepts super easy to understand by letting you actively engage with them. It's hands-on, visual, and fun. What I love most about Brilliant is their first principles approach to learning. They guide you from the ground up, building a solid foundation through interactive problem solving. This method is proven to be up to 6 times more effective than watching traditional lecture videos. So you're not just memorizing, you're truly understanding. And the best part, it fits perfectly into a busy life. With lessons designed to take just a few minutes a day, it's an ideal way to build a powerful daily learning habit. No more endless scrolling. Instead, you're leveling up your skills in ways that truly matter. If you're like me and love exploring how things work, Brilliant's new data science courses are incredible. They use real-world data from platforms like Airbnb and Spotify to teach you how to find trends, build models, and make better informed decisions. It's practical, intuitive, and perfect for any skill level. Brilliant is now offering an exclusive deal to you guys, my audience. You can try everything Brilliant has to offer free for a full 30 days. Just go to brilliant.org/VeronicaMark/ or click the link in the description. Plus, you'll get 20% off your annual premium subscription. Okay, now let's talk about the second shift I've made that has helped my productivity immensely. And that is moving from working against my energy cycles to working with my energy cycles. The thing is, most of the productivity systems we know were designed for men. And that is not a bad thing. It's just men and women function a little bit differently. You are biologically different, and that difference is your superpower. Your menstrual cycle isn't a curse, it's your superpower. I know that a lot of women might feel like, oh my god, why do I even have a period? It's such a hassle. Believe me, I used to feel this way too. And when I actually learned to work with my body, with my cycle, and not against it, my life became a lot easier. Okay, so let's begin our little lesson. Most of you have probably heard of the circadian rhythm. That's your 24-hour body clock that affects your sleep, energy, and your alertness every day. But women have another rhythm that's just as important, and it's called the infradian rhythm. Oh my god, the word rhythm is so hard to spell. So the infradian rhythm is a monthly cycle, around 28 to 30 days, depends on a person, that affects your hormones, your brain, your metabolism, your energy, your mood, pretty much everything. And that is what drives the different phases of your menstrual cycle. So in men, their hormones follow this 24-hour cycle, kind of like a repeatable loop every single day. But women's bodies shift a little bit every few days throughout the month. And that means that your energy levels go up and down, your brain chemistry changes, and also your motivation, focus, and even cravings shift. So what am I trying to get to here in my biology lesson? What I'm trying to tell you guys is that when you try to follow the same strict routine every single day. You're working against your body and not with it. I wasn't really listening to my body. I wasn't listening to all those signals, and I was just pushing myself into a very strict and rigid routine every single day. I love to challenge myself. That's why a few years ago I ran a marathon, but when I was preparing for that marathon, I wasn't really listening to my body. I was constantly overworking myself, even on the days when my energy was already low. And eventually I stopped enjoying running, and I even had to take a break for a year and a half from running after I completed the marathon because I was so sick and tired of it. Like right now, I don't want to be following a routine that is going to make me hate the activity that I actually deep down enjoy. Just because I can do everything doesn't mean that I have to do everything every single day. So let's now look at the hormonal cycle and how it impacts our energy, because it does influence our energy so freaking much. We go through 4 phases, and if I were to draw your energy levels, this is what they would look like. What does it look like to you? To me, it looks like a wave. The female body is not a machine. It's a rhythm. It's a tide. It's a freaking wave. Okay, so the first phase is your menstruation, your menstrual phase, your period. And that is usually when your energy, your focus, and your productivity levels are at their lowest. At least for me, during this phase of my cycle, I just feel very sleepy. No matter how much I sleep, I just notice that I yawn a lot more. I just want to stay in bed all day. Obviously, sometimes I can't do that. I have work responsibilities, but what this graph helps me to do is be more gentle towards myself. And if I know that right now I'm in the first phase of my cycle, I'm on my period, I don't push myself too hard when it comes to my workouts. I do something more gentle, or maybe I don't exercise at all. Moving on to the second phase, which is the follicular phase. That is when you generally have this rise in hormones and you are going to feel like you have a lot more energy. The third phase is your ovulation. And unfortunately, it only lasts a day or a few days. Like, it doesn't last for a very long time. And that is when we have a peak in hormones. And that gives you a lot of outward focused energy, which means that you become more extroverted if you're a more introverted person. You get energy from trying something new and from pushing yourself. And finally, the wave changes. It starts going down a little bit, and that is the fourth phase, your luteal phase. That is when your productivity levels usually go down, and when I'm in my luteal phase and I notice that I'm not as productive or doing a specific task takes way more of my energy than usual, I don't judge myself for that. In this phase, if you can prioritize me time, if you can prioritize self-care at least a little bit, your body will thank you so much. Okay, and now let's talk about the third shift I made in my productivity. I stopped spreading my energy throughout the workday and I started focusing my time on a few hours. I tried this time blocking approach when I was time blocking every single second, every single hour in my calendar. And at the beginning, it worked. But then I just realized that it made me more and more stressed because I do like to time block my work tasks. But when it comes to my free time, I like to feel like I am free. I like to feel like right now I don't have to work anymore and I can choose whichever activity I want to do. Because realistically, and according to many studies, we're only productive for around 3 to 4 hours a day. And after that, our brains start shutting down slowly. And when I talk about those 3-4 hours, I don't mean you're working, being on your phone, taking a break, and then working, and all of that takes 3 hours. No, what I mean is you are very focused. It's this deep focus work. Some people describe it as being in the flow when absolutely nothing and no one is disturbing you and you're 100% focused on what you're doing. And so basically what I recommend here is identifying the times when you have the most energy and using this energy wisely. In the past, I would wake up and I would go to the gym because that's what old people did. That's the productivity system I wanted to follow. But as a result, I felt like I was wasting my most creative and my most energetic hours of the day. Personally, I know that if I'm feeling tired because of work, I can still go and exercise and move my body. But when I feel tired physically because I have just exercised, I can't work. Like my brain literally starts shutting down because I'm so physically tired. So that is why, to work with my energy levels, what I started doing is I changed the time I went to the gym, the time I started working out. Instead of working out in the morning, I stopped doing that. I never ever do it right now. It is just not a part of my daily routine because it doesn't work for me. What works for me is working out in the evening. After I finished all of my work, I can calmly go and move my body. You are gonna shift things around, but you're still gonna get everything done, just at a different time when you're feeling naturally more productive. Try to plan your day at least a little bit, at least the things that you have control over around your energy levels. Okay guys, I think it's going to be it for today's video. If you liked it, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Before you go, get your Peaceful Productivity Toolkit. All you need to do is click the link in the description, enter your email, and I'll send it to your inbox. If you want to learn by doing, I could not recommend Brilliant enough. It's such an amazing platform. With my link, you can try Brilliant for free for 30 days and also get 20% off your annual premium subscription. There's another video on my channel where I was wearing the same sweater and where I was also talking about productivity. So if you want to see why productivity culture low-key sucks, click right here and keep on watching.